everyone. Welcome back to Infinity Wealth. We have a billionaire amongst us. Yeah, definitely a billionaire amongst us.
Look at that.
He sent me an image last night of his cryptocurrency account, didn't you, Kiki?
I'm gonna put it up right now.
Check the money, make it
There, you saw that.
number. That's that shit that's never getting bounced on your picture.
So listen, second billionaire that I know, probably richer than the first one, and you're the billionaire in the meta universe, which we're going to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, this is my meta airplane, my meta Mercedes. You can see there. Look.
Yeah.
All this within cash, mate. Cash.
Yeah.
I was just like, there you go. How much you want? There you go.
I like it, Kiki. I love it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I've got to tell everyone. Yeah, Kiki sent me a WhatsApp's image last night, and it was just unreal. Basically, it was unreal. But yeah, I'll let him explain that to you.
Well,
but he is the billionaire on paper, and in the meta universe, he is now a billionaire.
That's how quick your life can change, guys. That's how quick your life can change. So yeah, I cashed out last night, stashed it all under my bed. So I'm doing
tell him about your brother. Tell him about your brother.
No, so okay. So first, it was a glitch in the system. So I'll take off my glasses. Should I keep my glasses? I'll keep my glasses on.
No, keep your glasses on.
I'll keep my glasses on. Keep my glasses on, man. So the first story was, I haven't told you this one actually. So I was in the gym. My dad called me up. He's like, Kiki, check. He's like, check Ripple. I was like, what? I was like, he goes, check Ripple. I was like, what do you mean check Ripple? I said, I'm in the gym. I'll check it after. He goes, no. He goes, have you got your phone? I was like, yeah. He goes, check it. And I'm thinking like this thing's gone to like 0 or something, because obviously we've got a fair bit of Ripple, which I need to change actually into different currency. But I was like, oh shit, what's happened? He's like, it's gone to 200. I was like, what? He's like, Ripple has gone to 200. I was like, no, it hasn't. I checked, and I went on my so I got Ledger, so like the Ledger app, which obviously gives you the latest prices and stuff on the market. I was like, nothing's happened. I said, it's at 80 cents. He's like, no, check Coins Live. And I went on to Coins Live, and all of a sudden I've got 18 billion pounds. I was like, right. You see, at first I was confused. I was like, is that trillion? Is that 18 trillion? I was like, because then I'm the richest man in the world. I was like, if it's 18 trillion, I don't think anyone's an 18 trillionaire. But it wasn't. It was 18 billion. So I was sad it wasn't 18 trillion. But then I was even more sad, and I realized it's a glitch. So basically,
and my text to him was, sell it now.
I don't even think there's that much money in the world, man. Like the amount of people that I know that got a Ripple and have got ridiculous amounts of it, I don't think there's that much cash in the world. They have to keep those printers on to just sell the bloody thing,
to make it work.
Yeah, to make it work. Exactly. If one average guy is getting 18 billion, then I have no idea. We'll take the whole world's debt and the cash available. So then I said to Dad, I checked, because there was no news. Obviously, no news articles came out. But obviously, when you want something, you go to Twitter. So I checked Twitter. And everyone's saying, oh my God, my portfolio, and everyone's getting excited. Everyone thinks they've made it and stuff. And then you start seeing other tweets coming out saying there's a glitch in the Coins Live system and Coin Market Cap and stuff, which is showing that apparently it went even higher than 200 or so. I don't know what it was, but I just saw it at 200 when I screenshotted it. So, that would be hilarious. And then my brother, then I sent it to my brother. I sent the screenshot. I started playing with him, and I was like, yo, look. I was like, bro, I'm trying to cash out now. I'm trying to sell it. And he was like, remember that good food I made you, yeah? I was like, right, bro, what's a piece of this pie,
Because I sent that screenshot to a mate of mine. I played a little joke on him as well. One of my mentees has just become a billionaire. And literally after sending him that image, right? Literally about 2 or 3 minutes, you went, what are you talking about? And then literally about 2-3 minutes later, he phoned me. This is late at night. You remember you sent me a late at night?
Yeah,
and he's phoning me going, what are you talking about? I went, he's a billionaire, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I was trying to wind him up, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. He said, no, I don't believe it. I went, he's a billionaire. Look at the screenshot. Well, that's real, right? And he's like, nah. And then he went I said to him, no, it's just a glitch in the system.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I think it gave it. You know what? It gave us a topic for this video, so there's some value there. And it gave us a good
definitely, and the billionaire background that you've got,
and the billionaire back again. Exactly.
And I'm still in space.
Yeah, you're still in space, trying to figure out what's going on from a larger perspective.
I'm trying to be Superman. I'm trying to be Superman.
We got so much to talk about.
We've got a lot to cover in this one. We've got a lot to. First of all, are you going to render this tonight and then send it out?
Yeah.
So it's Wednesday today. What's the date today? I've forgotten the date now.
It's the 15th.
15th, right?
Yeah.
So we've got in the markets, we've got some important timing in the market at the moment. We've got the Federal Reserve coming out after their meeting to make the policy changes, which is very important to see how the markets will then react and which direction they're going to go. The other thing that's very big this week is the triple witching. If anyone understands the market, triple witching is when options expire. So 3-month options, all the options. This is the last triple witching of this year. It's a very volatile time in the market. And if most people follow the option markets, they'll know that 70% of options lose money. And the market makers basically manipulate the markets to make sure that they make the maximum amount because they've sold calls or they've sold, puts basically. They've sold, especially after yesterday, there was a lot of puts that were bought basically. So these market makers now, I think it's almost in their self-interest to actually push this market back up again. But it all depends on what the FOMC says. You know? And one of the things, so if we just cover the stock market now before we go on to the other topics, right? One of the main things now is, if you take a step back, I always take a step back from things, right? So if I take a step back, I think, okay, the Federal Reserve, there's a big panic. There was a big panic in the market yesterday. Main reason why it was a big panic, it was because they thought, well, the Federal Reserve, the CPI number came out. It was the biggest CPI rise ever, right? So they're all worried about inflation. Well, hello. Inflation has been around for ages.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden.
Blow your mind, mate. It's been around for ages. You don't need to panic about that. It's been around for ages.
Exactly.
Now, so there was a big panic in the market saying, well, the Federal Reserve are going to increase interest rates at a rapid pace. They may even announce it at this particular meeting. They'll announce tapering, faster tapering. That's fine. They should have been tapering ages ago. According to me, they should have been tapering ages ago. It's something not new. But then if you take a step back, right, you think upon the trillions upon trillions of amount of money that's been injected in this market to keep it afloat. Logically, will they now go and completely destroy what work that they've done only to try and reinflate it?
Yeah, it's true.
So if you think about it, if you take a step back away from all the noise and stuff like that, you think, hold on a minute, these guys are being, and the stock market is overvalued far beyond, right? But if you then take a step back and think, okay, so there was a big panic in the market yesterday. I understand that. The stock market is very overvalued. I understand that. Okay, the Federal Reserve has actually gone out of its way to pump up these markets. Now they've got, now that Jay Powell has been elected, it could be that he would take more of a hawkish stance, which is understandable. And he should have been doing that before, right? He should have been doing that before. So now the market's saying, well, actually, they're going to taper. Instead of 15 billion a month, they're going to taper to 30 billion a month. Hold on a minute. They've been buying 130 billion a month. So that means they're still buying 100 billion a month. You see what I mean? It's not as if they're stopping. They're just reducing the amount, but they're still buying. Until they completely stop buying, which is when they'll go, oh, they've completely stopped buying. But you're still buying, right? So along with all these factors, I suspect, and this is my gut feeling, so Please don't trade on it or anything else like that, right? But one of my gut feelings is that, the market makers don't want to see the stock market completely tank. There've been a lot of puts that have been opened. A lot of puts have been, especially yesterday. Right? So it's in their own self-interest, with triple witching around the corner, not to let the market tank too much. The Federal Reserve, I think we may even find the reverse reaction, where the Federal Reserve comes back and says, with the dot plot that they've got, maybe more people are more hawkish about it. But the Federal Reserve says, okay, we're going to taper. We're going to taper instead of the 15 billion, we're going to taper 30 billion. But that still means that they're going to inject money into the market. Yeah. It's not as if they're taking the money away. Taking the money away is actually saying we're going to reduce our balance sheet. They haven't said we're reducing our balance sheet. The shit will really hit the fan when they say we're going to reduce our balance sheet. Now, whether they say that tomorrow or not, I don't know. But if you think about it logically, these guys have worked so hard to pump up this stupid market to realms that it shouldn't even be at, right? Are they now going to come back and tank the whole market when COVID is around and the new COVID variant is around, which I won't mention, but you know what it is, right? So it just sounds to me that it's a big setup. It could be, and I'm saying it could be, that there is a big bear trap going to happen. It could be. I'm not saying I still think the market is so overvalued. It's incredible, right? It needs to go down a big way. But I see this market coming back down in February, March time. But I think with this big inflation print, if you look, can I share some charts with you, Kiki? And then we'll go on to the other stuff, right?
Definitely,
let's have a look. Share screen. Here we go. Right?
Yeah.
You got a share screen? Yeah. Okay. So can you see the screen, Kiki? Yeah.
No, not yet. Try it again.
Oh, hold on.
You got to click share screen, then you've got to select the screen that you want to share.
Oh, really? Okay. See it now?
No.
Okay, let's have a look. Share, right?
There you go. Now it's loading.
Can you see it?
Yeah, see it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you down here. Right. First of all, if you let's go to oil. Yeah. Light sweet crude. Right. Inflation has been printing higher. Inflation has been printing higher. Remember.
Yeah.
In order for the next inflation print to be higher, crude has to be higher than where it is right now.
Yeah.
It's been falling.
Yeah.
So that means, don't forget, this inflation figure that they're giving you is backward looking. It's not forward looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So if you go to that, if you go to natural gas, hold on, where's natural gas? Let's go to all the commodities, right? Hold on. Hopefully we'll get to it. DAX. Oh, God, I've got too many. Coffee, right? So again, coffee's not rising. It's been dropping, right? In fact, it looks as if it's going to drop further.
Yeah.
Right? It looks as if it's going to drop further. Natural gas. Right?
Yeah.
Don't forget, inflation. Inflation is supposed to be here.
Exactly.
So if inflation is here right now, and the next month's print, so January print that we're talking about, in order for that January print to be higher than this month's print, which was in November, this thing has to be a lot higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you've got natural gas dropping, you've got oil dropping, you've got silver. Silver's been a bloody nightmare for me, right? You've got gold, which has also been a bit of a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
You've got wheat.
Yeah.
Wheat is dropping. Look at that chart.
Yeah.
Look at that chart. Wheat is dropping. So, when you talk about inflation, sugar dropping, right? All the commodities, copper. Copper is a classic inflation narrative, basically, right? It's dropping. It's broken its 50-day. It's broken its 50-day. Remember, you're hearing this from this channel,
Yes,
this guy, right? And he's looking at the charts and looking at the data and going, actually, what's happening right now is not making a lot of sense. So I suspect in January, we may get an inflation print, which is far lower, and then they'll worry about deflation all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They'll worry about deflation all of a sudden, right? Then we could be in this Goldilocks environment where they're going, well, actually, inflation is not too high. The interest rate's not going to rise now because inflation is dropping, and the market could rise again. And you could see that parabolic move. And I'm not saying we will see it because we're already very overvalued anyway. But we then could see that parabolic move in the markets, basically, right? So, yeah, looking at all the data like that, you can see what's been happening. I mean, silver, Kiki, I bought silver yesterday. I sold it. I made a quick profit because I bought it where it dropped. Made a quick trade, but it's not looking healthy at the moment. And if you look at Bitcoin as well, I mean, the other thing that we talked about was, do you remember, going back to our last video, we talked about Nvidia. Yep. We talked about Bitcoin.
Yep.
We were on the money, mate.
Yep. Exactly.
On the money. We said it here.
Yep.
Yeah, we said it there. Now, if someone looks at it, they goes, well, actually, Bitcoin looks like it's forming a double top.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is.
Yeah.
It looks like it's forming a double top here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got, and then I looked at all the builders, house builders, which I covered before as well. I don't know if I've got, let's have a look, see if I've got Nvidia here somewhere. Yeah, Nvidia, right? So remember, you sold it here, Kiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nvidia has still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Long way to go. Yeah, long way to go. This is the weekly chart. If we do the daily chart, one day. Yep. So on the daily chart, it's approaching that 50 day, right? So it could actually hit that 50 day, do a dramatic upturn, which will then coincide with what I suspect. My gut tells me that it's going to be a gut check for all those bears, because all of a sudden they're going to go, oh, but they're still back, and they're going to go up the other way, and you may get the Santa. I'm saying you may. I'm not completely 100% about it all. I'm net neutral on this market. I don't own anything. I've sold it all. Right? I sold it all when I felt it was right.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm net neutral on this market, wanting to see what's going on. If there is a big push to the upside, then I'll buy in basically to try and ride that wave up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But again, Nvidia's. I think Nvidia's peaked. A lot of the stocks has peaked. I mean, I don't know if I've got Apple here. Hold on. Apple. Where are we? Yeah, you got the Nasdaq as well, right? So again, the Nasdaq hit its 50 day.
Yeah.
It's got a gap to close there.
Yeah.
It had a gap before, so it needs to close that gap at some stage, right? But you've still got a rising 50 day at the moment. Until it breaks a 50 day and it starts really coming down, then it's time to get really bearish on the market, right? Where's Apple? Can we find Apple? Apple, right? So again, Apple, my God, this stock has just been completely, if I do it on a weekly chart, you'll see, right? And if I do it on a monthly chart, you'll see.
It's even mad.
Yeah, it's mad. I'm sorry, but please, let's be real about this shit, right? Apple has not produced a new product. Has not produced a new product. They actually said that the iPhone sales may be slowing from some of the Chinese manufacturers. And
well, they've been slowing for a couple of years now compared to what they used to be. So
yeah. I mean, it's not. I no longer feel that Apple is an innovation company. It never has been. No, it's almost like a utility. I think. Yeah, they're not bringing out any new products.
Utility. Yeah. Even since the first iPhone, honestly, it's like things were out there before that were exactly the same, if not better. It's because obviously they're a strong brand, and obviously one thing that people like about them is like the quality feel of them, the materials that they make.
Yeah, absolutely,
more premium.
Absolutely.
They're just the Coco Chanel basically of the.
And you know, the only thing that they brought out is with the iPhone 13 is different colors.
Yeah. Do you know what they're doing? This is funny actually. The first iPhone that was created by Steve Jobs. They're making a special edition Steve Jobs phone with old components in the phone and selling it for like 2-3 grand.
No, really? Oh, mate. So it's not even the one that you can use properly.
It's not even. Yeah, there's putting old components in it, like rustic components. Like, dude, like these guys are milking you, man.
Right. So there's Bitcoin. Again, a monthly chart, but you can see that double top formation almost. Right? My gut tells me Bitcoin is going to go to 40. Bitcoin is going to go to 40. Yeah. That's what my gut tells me.
Yeah.
Silver, bloody nightmare at the moment.
Yeah.
As is gold, because the dollar is rising in anticipation of the Federal Reserve's announcement. This could reverse tonight. By the end of today, reverse. Copper futures falling, like I said to you. Sugar, sugar's not been too bad actually. Then you got wheat coming back down as well on a monthly chart. Gold not looking too good at the moment, right? But again, all these things can reverse. So yeah, just a quick one. I'll unshare my screen. Go back. One of the things to think about this week is it's going to be a very volatile week, very, very volatile week, right? So if you don't want a gut check, it's better to stay out of it and then see what transpires later on. Yeah. Especially with the trip and witching as well that's going on today.
Yeah. That's actually a good general piece of advice as well. When it is volatile weeks, if you're not in it and you're not like if you're not on your screen, you could lose a lot of money. just stay out. Let the market find its feet again. And then decide which year. The market will take a direction. I think by the end of this week we'll find out whether we're going to have a Christmas rally or a Santa Claus rally or not. Agreed. And the market has gone up such a long way. It has gone up such a long way. So yeah, it just we look to see what happens. So it's going to be exciting today. And if the market, if the market is down big time before the announcement, I would be more likely to go long than short. If the market is up big time before the announcement, I'm more likely to go short than long, because the market will always makes fool of people, me included. Right? It always makes fools of people, and sometimes it does a contradiction to what everyone is thinking, and it's manipulation. I mean, the other thing I wanted to talk about actually while we're at the market was, since our last video, Elon Musk, right? Before he sold his Tesla stock last time, there was a huge put taken out at 1,000, right? At Tesla for the following day. Now, unless someone knew that Elon Musk was going to sell a ton of stock and it was going to force the price down, that's how manipulated this market is, and how if we're not in the inside, we don't know what's going on. Exactly. So sometimes you're better off being a long-term investor than trying to be a trader. Exactly. That was a bizarre thing. 50 million. They took out a put for 50 million and then
the following day.
And then don't forget the Dogecoin got announced after that.
And then all of a sudden, Elon Musk goes, oh, by the way, you can pay for Tesla with Dogecoin. This guy is the biggest manipulator out there. And you know what? The regulators don't do anything.
No.
Gold and silver, like we talked about, they're manipulated by JP Morgan right, on the downside all the time. They don't do anything about market manipulation. They're asleep.
That's what I'm saying.
And then people come out and they.
I was saying to you earlier.
It's all bollocks.
It's honestly, it's, and we'll get into this actually, the whole metaverse and Web3 and everything. But have we come to a point in the real world where you know, and we've been saying this for a while, but like now it's just so blatant that no market is natural anymore. Nothing is following what it should. Is good old basic economics, you know, normal demand and normal supply, simple. Everything is emotion based, everything is manipulation, everything is people calling out things on social media, big people, and making a market move. Something needs to be done, otherwise there is nothing left in the market. You know, there is no predictability, there's no investment case, there's nothing. And then it's just crazy. It's absolutely mad. And also, by the way, that's why I didn't get a Tesla, right? And I got a Mercedes.
Oh yeah,
that's fine. They look shit inside, you know. I don't know.
I told you I test drove one ages ago. Right?
Yeah.
So I test drove because the Model 3 came out. And I thought, let me see what the hype is about. Yeah. So I test drove the sports Model 3. Right. Yeah. I belted it.
Yeah. Does it go to 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds?
Yeah, man. This car is quick. This car is really quick. So I went to Brent Cross, and the thing about when you test drive the Tesla is they let you take it out. Yeah, on your own. Okay. But they can track you on their phones. Got it. So obviously they can track you on the phones. Yeah. And they said, go up for a decent drive, go up from Brent Cross, go up the M1, go up to this service station and come back down. Yeah. And I said to Fiona, well, I'm going to go past this bloody service station. I'm going to see what this car can do, right? So I put my foot down, right? I just wanted to see how quick the car is, and it is quick. It's quick, right? Yeah. It was deadly quick. Yeah. But the thing that disappointed us the most was and Fiona then drove it. So we changed around and Fiona drove it. Yeah. And then when she changed around, she put it on autopilot. She wanted to see what autopilot was. Right. So when we were driving on the motorway, and she was driving sensibly, you know, I'm the speed. Right? So she was driving very sensibly and put it on autopilot.
You're an Asian boy racer.
I am. Listen, I did. You know, I had a hot hatchback. What can I say? I had a hot hatchback when I was younger, and I had normal hair, basically. Very good. But yeah, so she put it on autopilot, and there was a car coming out of one of the junctions, and the car didn't even see it. Oh, the car didn't even see it. Didn't brake. It would have smashed into the back of this car. So we turned, and I went, oh, I don't think this autopilot's great.
That's not an autopilot.
It's not great. So I turned it, but it could not see cars coming from the slip road. Wow. Because you know the cars sometimes, you know, what they do is they try to overtake you by accelerating. And you couldn't even see it, Kiki. Mad. So there's no sensing that this car is coming. I'll move into the as a normal driver, you would have then moved over to the right hand lane, given them space on the left hand lane. I didn't do that. It stayed in that left hand lane. So after that I just thought, well, and it didn't feel luxurious. In fact, it felt millenaristic, yes, but it didn't feel luxurious.
Exactly. I mean, I sat in one. I didn't drive it, but I sat in one in Canada. The one, the big one with the wings go up, like the doors.
My cousin in America's got one.
Yeah, so I sat in it, and I just felt like this just looks like a Citroen, because it's like, you know, the Citroens don't have like the dashboard and stuff, and I was just like, this is so tatty, and it's got some fat ass like iPad. Screen. I was like, that's right. Like that, if anything, is like you're going to be a big cause for bloody crashes.
And what I want to say is, actually, if you can't use your phone,
how the fuck can you use a tablet?
How can you use a pad?
Exactly.
It's like having a big iPad.
So it is a big iPad. You can't use your phone
in the car. How can you use that? At least you've got the knobs on the gears, on the knobs.
Yeah, and at least the phone is small, so your sight isn't. You can still see in your peripheral and also around when you're looking at the phone like this on the stand. But when you're looking at and also it's like down.
It's on the side.
It's on the side, and it's like your eyesight is nowhere near the screen. Yeah, and like you need to most probably look in the top corner. That's mad. I mean, I don't.
So in the end, we didn't buy one. We didn't buy one. Cool. We didn't buy one. Because we knew that there were other models coming out, so we didn't buy them. And in fact, now I don't even know if I think the next thing is going to be hydrogen cars. I think.
That's why. Is it Nissan or Toyota? One of them.
It's Toyota. They've been test driving in Japan for a long time, and I think hydrogen cars are the way to go. Basically,
yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of people invest in a lot of money in electric, but it's still going to cause the same problems because it's still coming from. But hydrogen is the next level, and that's why Toyota, when they released their statement, they said we're not working on electric cars. We don't have any electric cars because we're working on hydrogen technology.
Yeah,
and so their risk was their tech is not going to be available for another 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. Whereas electric's obviously available everywhere now. But yeah.
Did you also hear about the Tesla that caused the biggest tailback in Brent Cross? Did you hear about that? No, there was a Tesla that just lost all power on the ramp. Yeah. And no one could get into Brent Cross.
Wow.
Because there was a huge tailback all the way around onto the North Circle, on all the drive. Because, like if you run out of petrol, you go to a petrol station, you get a jerry can and you pour it in. Yeah. You can't do that with an electric car.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, where's the nearest charge point?
Yeah, exactly.
So it took 3 hours to remove this car.
Wow. That's insane. And they're meant to be solving the traffic problem.
But that was laughable. I think that was about 4 weeks ago. That was laughable.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, enough of electric cars.
All right, cool.
So you're going to talk about the meta universe, right? Wow. Which I think is the next big topic.
Yeah.
So go on, hit them with it, mate.
So first of all, obviously being Infinity Wealth, we have
and a billionaire
and billionaires, we have to stay on top of everything that's going on for you guys, to share this information first and foremost with you guys, so we get a good understanding of it. We can pass on that understanding to you, and then you can decide what to do with the information, whatever. Again, not financial advice or any, just education. So I've been working this week. Started to do research. Specifically, I started with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which we've spoken about before. And also the four main techs that really we're looking at in the future, right? Blockchain technology, obviously, which is a foundation for obviously cryptocurrency, foundation for NFTs, so much. So we've got blockchain technology, obviously. We've got NFTs, which is what I just mentioned. We've got Web3, so Web 3.0. So currently on Web 2.0 and Web 3.0, which is obviously websites which are going to be based again off blockchain technology. And then we've got the Metaverse, right? And of course, in cryptocurrencies encompassing. So they're all essentially interconnected, and they all will be interconnected. It's going to be a whole, economy of sort of the next level of tech. But more specifically, me and Martin will be talking about the Metaverse, and I've been researching about NFTs. So first, to start off with NFTs, again, it's easier to explain. Then we can get into the Metaverse and how this sort of all applies. So I've been doing. It's really interesting because I actually started getting a bit more serious about it in the last 2 weeks, because my brother said, like, he started messaging me. Obviously now I'm in Milton Keynes. He was just talking to me on WhatsApp and saying, hey, do you know where to buy Solana and things like that? And I was like, oh, because why are you buying Solana for? I was like, I can show you. Yeah, for sure. You just investing. He goes, not investing, but he goes, I'm creating my NFTs for my music. And I was like, huh? What? I was like, how do you know about NFTs? Like, but I'm meant to be the guy who does all this stuff. Yeah, not you. You're just a music guy. But actually, like their whole music, like universe and the coaching that and stuff he gets, they're now starting to really pump and work on NFTs. The reason why is now Spotify, for example, controls how much an artist gets paid. Now with NFTs, they control. The users that buy artist NFT controls how much the artist gets paid, because obviously you bid for it, just as if you'd bid for an image in a gallery or whatever, right? The seller controls what the value is, as opposed to a company. So it's all decentralized essentially. So I started to get under, talking to him, and he said, there's multiple use cases. And he said the other use case, for example, is, let's say, he goes, me, right? You know that how hard I'm working and everything. Or like if you knew an artist, if you knew like Drake, right, 15 years ago, and this guy is absolutely working his butt off, but there's no way for me to invest in Drake, for me to have an invested interest in his future. I know this guy's going to blow up, but the best I most probably could do is maybe buy a few CDs of his and keep them. Maybe they'll have some value, maybe get signed autograph, but they're all going to be limited value. And also, once I sell that autograph, I can't do anything again. I'll just get that value once. So I was like, okay. So I was like, where are you going? So he says NFTs basically allow us essentially a non-fungible token, or in easy language, a digital asset, or whether it's an image or a video or something like that, a JPEG or whatever, right? From the artist. So in my brother's case, he's getting a cover of his single, making it into a 3D like cube that rotates in a video, right? Selling that to the client, right? Whoever obviously puts it on the open market, and obviously his fans and followings. This is another important side point. If you're selling NFTs, you also need to have some sort of following, because someone has to buy. No random geezer from the internet really is going to come on to OpenSea or NFT platform and buy an NFT, right? So it needs to be one of your fans. So he's putting his NFTs up for 50 quid, which is affordable for his fan base. So that now, this is where the magic happens. If I go and buy Indie's NFT for £50 or Solana, not GBP, obviously in the conversion. If I buy that for whatever it is, 0.3 Solana, 0.3 Solana, I get that today, right? And then let's say a year down the line, he starts doing shows and stuff. He starts gaining a big following. And I'm like, hey, I got one of his first single NFTs, his very first, or whatever, his fifth one, his sixth one, seventh one, of this specific single.
Do you own the rights to that single that is released? Okay,
so
or is it a royalty fee that you get?
Yeah, exactly.
How does it work?
Exactly. So this is where you need to understand what the difference is between owning actually something and also owning in the NFT space. Now, you own the digital rights to that NFT, whatever that was
NFT, not the song,
not the song. NFT. So you won't own the song. You will never own the song, right? Even if he does an NFT of his song, you will only own the NFT version of his song, because that's the NFT. You won't own the original song. So he can still, and that same infographic that he sent you and you bought he can still post it on social media. He's got, because that's the digital version. You've got the NFT version. That's the difference, right? So when he sells his NFT, when I've got his NFT now, a year down the line, he blows up. I sell it to someone else. I put it back on the market. Now, every time that same NFT sells, doesn't matter if the next person sold it and I don't own it anymore, I will get between an 8 to 10% royalty fee or fee from that sale.
From the sale of the NFT.
As much as it sells. If it sells 10 times, 20 times, 30, I will get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times the fee every single time. And don't forget.
So hold on. So you bought the NFT. Right? I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, sure.
Understand
sure.
So you bought the NFT.
Yep.
You've then sold the NFT to someone else.
Yeah, right? So I don't own it anymore.
Yeah, but you still get the royalty, a percentage of the royalty. So if that guy then sells it to someone else for a higher figure, someone else to a higher figure, you're still getting the royalty from that NFT.
Exactly.
So you no longer own it.
There you go. Exactly. There you go. Simple as. So it's a way. So now if you ask that question back, who wouldn't buy something and put a chance in for 50 quid? Right? Who wouldn't? So that's the question. If you know someone's up and coming, even if you know he has maybe the slimmest chance in the music industry, but for 50 quid and having that chance of this thing potentially blowing up, that changes the whole game, right? It's like, well, why wouldn't I? I would put £1,000 into someone like that, right? If I knew that this guy is working or girl is working on their craft, they're doing as much as they can, whether they're an artist, whether they're graphic designer, creating graphics, whatever they're doing. If I know that they're doing what they're doing, that's a way of me saying, hey, it's a stock, essentially. It's an individual person's stock is what it is. But the difference is this stock gives you kickback every time it's sold. So it's a level up, basically. So I started learning, obviously understanding more about this from Gary Vaynerchuk, who's talking about this. And he was explaining, like, again, the music industry, the arts industry, are a lot, which is sort of leading this sort of revolution, whatever you want to call it, the next sort of evolution, should I say, rather than revolution, the next evolution of their industry. So he was also saying, for example, tickets to concerts, even concerts. Drake and another guy, they're going to do their first metaverse or digital concert, basically, for coming up or whatever it is. But like tickets, when you get a ticket right now for a concert, whether you're going AC/DC or anywhere else, right? Whether you're buying a rap artist, you get a paper ticket, which if you spill water on it, you get a bit of Coke on it, you get mushed up, it's not worth anything. You could, even if you do keep it, right?
What kind of Coke you talking about? I see you're living the billionaire lifestyle.
you got that one. You got that one under the slip, yeah? That Coke you can dust off, isn't it? That one you can't. Just get a Hoover, no debris left. Coca-Cola.
Okay, Coca-Cola. That's what we're talking about. Okay, let's be more specific now.
And that thing becomes worthless. And even if you do keep it in prime conditions, it's not like it's going to be worth much. No one sells on eBay. You might find a Michael Jackson ticket for £100, £200 or something, but nothing more than that. But when it becomes an NFT, it now becomes a collectible, something called a collectible. And now it's stupid, but it's a digital version now of that ticket, and now it's more valuable. Because why? Why are these things more valuable than assets? Because you continue to get kickback when it's sold. That's the difference, right? And it's all on the blockchain infrastructure and everything. It's all with the technology. And this is where all this starts.
So let me just stop you there, right? Just 1 second. A thought just entered my mind, right? So let's say if you're a ticket tout, right? If you're a ticket tout, right? So there's a concert going on and it's in NFTs, right? So you buy, as a ticket tout, you always buy tickets and then sell them on for more profit, right? So if I'm a ticket tout, I'll buy those tickets as NFTs, right? And then I'll sell to other people going, well, if you ain't got a ticket, I've got a ticket and an NFT, I'll sell it to you. So this ticket tout, I'm just thinking out aloud, right? Because we haven't discussed it. So I thought just dropped in my mind. So this now, ticket tout now is bought, let's say 100 tickets for a Beyonce concert, whatever it is, right? As an NFT, right? He's now, he paid 10 quid for it, or 50 quid for it, or whatever he paid. He's selling it to you as 60 quid. Right? Now you've got that ticket, but he'll make, if that ticket ever is sold in the future, so he's made his 10 quid profit, but if that ticket is now sold in the future,
he'll make
a kickback.
Yeah, exactly.
We should become ticket touts in the NFT, man.
Well, this is the thing. So what I don't understand is obviously when these tickets go on sale, will they to avoid this kind of stuff, right? Like could they completely take ticket touts out of the formula, right? And be like, no, this is one ticket per use case, per like user or whatever, like, because everyone's linked to with their wallets and stuff like that, right? So I don't know how that would work, right? So obviously we don't know those nitty gritties, but definitely there's always going to be opportunities like this. I mean, this is where things start coming into the metaverse, right? Now this is where I'll start leading on to this. So obviously if and Web3 I've explained, there's not too much to really talk about Web3. I mean, like it's now the next level of internet. The Web2 was social media connections, creating businesses online, etc. Web3 is now going on to blockchain technologies and creating things that are further beyond things like in the metaverse, basically. And this is where we start talking about metaverse. So like in the metaverse, let's say there's a ticket tout and he starts a metaverse company. And I'll come back to the definition of like metaverse and explain it a bit more in a second. But just as we're on this conversation, so he starts a ticket tout company, right? What's there to do? I don't think there'll be anything stopping at that person or company, whatever, to then go and buy all these NFT tickets and then reselling them, right? And now he's not only got a business in the metaverse, he's also selling tickets in the metaverse, buying them as NFTs and making kickbacks with digital currency. Completely digital, like economy, basically, digiconomy. So now coming back to the metaverse, now there's been a lot of, and this is why I haven't really obviously initially it's sort of joke. It starts off as a joke and stuff. You start joking and laughing about it. But obviously once these things start sort of settling in and you start seeing semi-serious things happening, and you see companies start paying attention to this kind of stuff, because we know now.
Yeah, all the big companies are doing that.
Yeah,
Facebook, all the big companies are doing that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so and we know that in a sort of not in a sad sense, but these companies do, because they've got the money, they can push these things out very quickly and get users using these stuff very quickly. We know that. I mean, look how quick people started using TikTok and Instagram and all this kind of stuff. Like first we're like, nah, no way, data, forget you guys, and you're like, oh shit, I'm all over Instagram, right? So like basically, to start with, obviously, the way the metaverse initially was marketed, especially by Mark Zuckerberg, obviously it's where it's all come from, is this whole sort of, I call it the Nintendo Wii like universe. You know, he showed clips of like, you're gonna go and play basketball with your mates and play football and go to bars and social clubs, all in this metaverse, right? You just put these headset on or something, and then you're working 1 second and you're going to drinks and you're going to dinner and stuff. Obviously, just sort of bringing us back to earth a bit, right? We're always going to need to eat and shit in the world, right? So that's never going to happen.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, it's some of us more than others. That's never going to happen. You know, we're not going to be able to do fine dining and stuff in the metaverse and eat digital food and stuff and stay alive, right? As much as we would like. So what I want people to do is, at the same time, obviously, you can have a laugh and joke about it, whatever, but also start doing some research into what these use cases will be in the future. Because one thing I can guarantee you is this stuff is happening and it is going to happen, but it's how it happens is what is going to be questionable, basically. So it's not even a question of will it, it's already started. You know, Martin, we will talk about the real estate company that you found, right? So Martin has, actually, I'll quickly share my screen just to show them now.
Yeah, I'll just explain a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So I'll share the screen. You can explain it, right? So I'll go on to the first page. Okay, go.
So, you know, I read a couple of weeks back about a company who basically, digital land was sold for 2.4 million, right? Someone bought a piece of digital land on the meta universe, so it doesn't exist, for 2.4 million. And just went completely crazy thinking, why would you buy a piece of land on a digital platform which is not real and you pay 2.4 million? Then I started investigating, came across this company, which also then does rental. So now you're going to rent a property in the meta universe, yeah, and you're going to pay digital currency to your landlord, right? This is the most bizarre thing I've seen in years, right? And I know that, you know, and I reached out to Kiki and I said to him, listen, mate, I don't get this rubbish. I don't understand. So, like this is showing, you bought a piece of land here, the digital asset where Kiki's arrow is, yeah? You can then get an architect who will charge you a fee to design a house for that. Yeah. And there's people that are actually making real money, architects making real money, designing buildings like this for people in the meta universe. Now, for me, as a traditionalist, I still don't get it. Right, which is why I reached out to Kiki. I said, listen, we've got to talk about this because, for me as a investor, I thought, right, is this showing me, because I always look at the reverse side. Yeah. Is this showing me that we have now gone to a level where it's beyond, right? Yeah. So you're now creating in this meta universe, let's say you own that block of apartments, right? You can then charge rent to people who got their avatars in the meta universe who reside there. Well, my argument to Kiki at the time was, why don't you just live in the bloody real world? Right? I don't get it. Why don't people just live in the real world? And then
this is why, look, because if you own this block here, you can walk out and then you got an F1 race course right here. You don't have that in the real world, do you, Martin?
No, you don't. But the thing is, Kiki, you don't experience it. If you're a gamer, If you're a gamer, that's what you're going to do. But then, if you're a gamer, that's what you'll do. But in the real world, as human beings, we want feelings, we want tangible things, we want experiences, not something that's done in a game, which increases our endorphins, because we get the buzz out of it, but you don't get the feeling. It's like have you really been to Rome? And you've seen the Colosseum on a picture.
Exactly.
Have you actually really experienced the Italian culture or the French culture or
seen it until
you're there?
Done a 3D tour on Google Maps.
So that was my main. I mean, one of the other things that I said to Kiki was, because I started discussing this with my wife. I said, okay. And so, and one of the things, and by the way, if Elon Musk is watching, Elon, this is the first place you heard it.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things I said to my wife is, the great use of this is if you're a paraplegic or if you're completely disabled, right? So to get these people actually to have, an interaction, a social interaction, it's great for that. It's absolutely superb for that, right? People who are disabled, who are then can try to live a sort of normal life, I think it's brilliant, right? The other thing was, I bet you someone will say, actually, if I download your data, your mind and everything else onto a digital format, you'll live forever. You'll live forever. Right? You are now going to be in this digital world. Your mates have also downloaded their data. You live forever. Your body may die.
Plug AI into that, and it's
plug AI. And then we started talking about the Matrix. Right? We then started talking about the Matrix, where Neo actually left the digital world to go back into the real world. Whereas now we're going from the real world into a digital world.
In 20 years' time, we're going to be chasing back to go to the real
world.
Back,
because everyone knows that that's a pile of shit, really. You want to, as a human being, you want to feel, experience stuff, not necessarily have. And this is where Kiki's going to come in, because I am too old, right? I'm too old. And he's going to explain to you about what he said to me about the fact that actually youngsters have a different perspective. So go on, explain it to him. I mean, this is a problem. Let's share the screen back if you want.
The first thing I want to say though, if this happened full time, builders are fucked. Like,
Kiki, we don't have any building headaches. We don't have any more, and your plumbing won't go wrong.
Exactly. There you go.
The plumbing won't go wrong. I just replaced the boiler in one of my properties. Bloody hell. Actually, let me share that with you. This plumber, I had a plumber. I said to him, I've got a lot of properties. I normally buy the boilers myself, and I pay a labor only. And normally I pay anything from 250 in the a couple of year ago, 250 anything to about 400 quid, depending on the area it's in. Right? This plumber came back and said 750 quid. I went, hold on a minute. It's a day's work. You want 750 quid for a day's work? Are you taking the PIS? And he said, I'll do a power flush. I said, listen, you don't do a power flush. I've been with plenty of plumbers, and no offense to plumbers who are watching, forgive me, right? But a lot of them don't do it. They say it, but they don't do it. It's to justify their the cost. And it's just called completely bizarre. Anyway, we won't have that in the meta.
We won't have that.
We won't have that in the
meta. We won't have build costs, any of that. To be honest, you most probably will. There'll be metaverse builders. Trust me.
They can shaft you then as well.
They'll charge you 2.4 million for a refurb that costs like.
And then you have planners in the meta universe going, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Wait until solicitors come in, mate. Then you're fucked.
You're completely screwed. Go back to the real world. So, God, Kiki, explain to them on a younger perspective what you were saying.
Sure. So obviously, the first thing here is this is where we're obviously, I think a lot of people getting ahead of themselves, right? In terms of there's going to be certain people that want to do this stuff, and this is where this sort of younger generation come into. Now, if I explain to you, and this is where we sort of start questioning, is even though we're reading about this and understanding this, is this really being targeted to us, or is it being targeted to a completely different generation? That's what we have to question. Now, what I mean by that is, if any of you guys have kids or younger siblings or cousins or whatever, like as cousins as I do, you'll know they play different sort of video games, right? Like Fortnite is one prime example that I'm going to use here. So Fortnite, where it sort of went from Minecraft up and it became an action-packed thriller, RPG, and building as you go along sort of game, right? And online, all based online. Free to play, but how they make money is they sell you digital clothes, outfits, trainers, scarves, hats, glasses, sneakers, etc. And you can buy this with your mom and dad's credit card. That's what you do. So even my cousin has said to me, oh, I bought this, but I did it by accident with my dad's credit card, and I accidentally filled in the numbers and the CVC card and all that kind of stuff. Accidentally. So, but the thing is, these kids obviously playing these video games and stuff, it's a big thing to them. You know, their mates have got, you know, cool outfits on their avatars. They want cool outfits. You know, they want Nike outfits on their digital characters whilst shooting people up, you know.
You don't even have to make it anymore to make money.
Well, exactly. There you go. You just use mum and dad's credit card and max it out. And this is the thing. So that generation is, and the kids and you know, parents and grandparents are saying, you know, don't go on your iPads too much and trying to take away all this tech and stuff, right? But are we already? I mean, I was saying to Martin, like, we're already in the depths of a digital world. We're just in digital 2.0. And what I mean by that is a lot of people make friends online, right? Even relationships, if you get these the marriage apps and stuff, everything's made online, and you only have the physical connection if you decide to have a physical connection, but everything's already started online. 9 Design's my business. In my whole business, I've only met one client actually physically. Everyone else is either around the world or around the country, right? I've not actually met any of my clients. That's already online. Everything is done via email and Zoom calls and stuff like that. So what difference is it now that this brings to us? And that's what we have to analyze. Now, the difference obviously is what the metaverse and where the metaverse applications, which make sense, which some of which Elon Musk did, not Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg did explain, is like, for example, if I'm sitting at home and I've got a job, or we've got a meeting, rather than me just jumping on a Zoom call, I put my headset on, there's this table, I'm sitting at a table, and then, you know, like in Star Wars, you got the hologram.
Yeah, the hologram. The hologram.
You know, and they're all sitting around the table. That's basically what it is. So I can go with by sitting in my...
That's a very good analogy. Yeah,
exactly. That's basically what it is. You know, I can see these people sit, although they're not there, that Star Wars is predicting a sort of metaverse sort of universe where I can be here, but I can be at the office at the same time, you know, but I'm working from home, so that kind of thing. So it makes sense for particular use cases. Now, for example, if it's even schooling, right? If things like these pandemics happen to be a normal thing in society going in the future, and it becomes dangerous to step outside your house, right? But obviously, like winter period, for example, like summer, obviously we're normally all right. But winter is the worst case of it. Not only do you have normal cold and flu, but then if you've got coronavirus, it starts spreading like hellfire, as we're seeing right now. You know, if winter periods become homeschooling periods for children to make, like, you know, and that becomes a normal system where we have 6 months or 7-8 months of normal school, and then we have 3-4 months in the winter periods of homeschooling. Then the children use Metaverse to still be in a virtual classroom, right? So like you can start understanding use cases to particular things, right? And obviously these all have to be tweaked. But when it then becomes to like buying real estate, buying this and buying cars and stuff, that's when for me, it starts becoming, okay, now this is becoming like Sims in real life. This is becoming like Minecraft and Fortnite in the metaverse. And is this really gonna attract the people that are working, that are, you know, building, making their bread, that are, you know, feeding their families? As I said, you still got to come out of the universe to feed your family, feed yourself, to shower and all this kind of stuff, right? You still got to do real things. You still got to go to grocery store. You can't do that in the metaverse. You still got to go out. You still got to have your takeaway. So what I want to do is I want to put a sort of a realistic perspective to people that it's not, and it won't be, at least I don't believe, and it can't be here to replace our physical world. it's going to be integrated into it, just like all the other tech has. You know, sadly, if you go on a tube now, everyone's eyes are glued to their phones, right?
Yeah.
But arguably, people would say before.
Even when you go to a restaurant, the kids they're glued to their phones.
Glued to their phones.
A normal conversation now.
Exactly. So like we're already in the midst of that world, but there is still work that is trying to be done now to unlearn things, right? Like I'm very conscious of when I'm on the tube to not be on my phone. If I am, and maybe listen to an audio or reading a book or whatever, but I'm not trying to physically be on my phone, especially when I'm around, I'm talking, I'm going out with my friends and meeting people, my phone is on silent and in my pocket. I don't keep my phone on the table, right? Yeah. So all purposely done, right? So now is how, first of all, is we should start learning and trying to understand this kind of thing. Then we wait for these use cases to start happening. If you do want to start projects and stuff, like for example, 9 Designs, my company, I'm now starting to look into how we can start building Web3 applications, because that would be a big demand. How do we start building websites on the blockchain, right? Because that's a particular use case, because obviously blockchain is a fantastic technology that's going to revolutionize a lot of stuff. And if anyone's in property, you're going to be so happy, because what the blockchain will allow is cutting solicitors' time down with where they're doing inquiries and all these kind of things to a week. And why? Because everything that is listed for a single property to a single person will all be tied to the blockchain, so you can get the information just like that. So you don't need to go through these 3 months of inquiries and solicitors going back and forth and stuff. So it will do wonders once it's fully enforced, right, in terms of speed, right? So there's definitely use cases, but that's what we have to do. So, and again, like there's no telling, as I said to Martin, you know, what do we do if all of a sudden the metaverse does have 90% of the jobs? You know, it does, and then we can't stop our future children and grandchildren and stuff, right? Because how can we argue against where something that's the only place where they're going to get their income or whatever, right? But these are things we're going to have to see what happens. You know, we got to pretend we're in 1999 when the internet started, and when people were starting to talk about what could happen, the bad things that could happen, all this kind of stuff, you know, like, but you know, if you weigh out the pros and cons, yes, there's been cons, but there's also been massive pros. You know, we're able to do this and share, and you know, we get like 100 people watching our videos and stuff without having to do physical events. We're able to get these videos out because of the internet, right? So there is use cases, and so my advice really is learn about it. Don't get like too behind on it. Still, you don't have to go into mad depth. Just have a basic understanding of these things, right? Like no one actually knows how the internet works. Even I don't actually know how the internet works, like on a technological basis, right? So like you don't have to, you don't have to be the mastermind of learning all these things, but you need to know like the general use cases and stuff, and have a general knowledge, basically, right? So have a general knowledge, know what you need to know, and just wait on these sort of things, right? And if there are things like investment opportunities that you want to take, but I'm not saying, and I'm not going to buy any real estate for 2.4 million. No, I know I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire, but you know. Yeah.
You are a billionaire, but yeah, what doesn't make sense, right, is why would you buy a piece of digital land?
Yeah.
For 2.4 million, whoever this guy is who's bought it, either he's a billionaire and he lives in the most luxurious penthouse possible, or he's a kid who's made the money out of, or he's a kid who's made money out of crypto.
Yeah,
and because he's made money out of crypto, went, oh yeah, great. Listen, kid, if you're listening, sell it, buy some tangible products with it, and enjoy your life, mate.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So this is where I think this we're going to start stepping over, and everyone's going to start to identify this fine wire and where we sort of go into, where we don't, right?
It's like NFTs. You know, when NFTs came out, we actually, if you wind it back, I actually said, if you're an artist, go into NFTs, because it helps you make revenue. Licensing your own your music, or any form of artist. You know, if you've got something to offer, it helps you to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
if you get your marketing and everything right, it definitely is, and you get the messaging. But like, for example, NFTs, perfect case, right? Right now, the hottest things on NFTs at the moment are avatars. I don't know if you've seen them. So literally little pictures, your own personalized picture. There's astronauts, there's apes, there's like all sorts of animals, and you can personalize them and buy your own one. But where I'm doing my research is how do I now forward think? And how do I now start predicting what is the next thing going to be? You know, what? And I was having a chat with my good friend, Andres, who's a part of my design community. And he goes, you know, if you want to really look at the next step, it's like that avatar then becomes a character in the metaverse, right? Okay, cool. But I want to look further than that. I want to look further to the point where all this gaming metaverse stuff is done, but we got a proper, like the music is a proper use case, 100%, right? That genuinely makes sense, that I can invest in an artist that I believe in already, that might be already popping off, right? Or that is starting up. That's a perfect use case for artists that are creating actual art, right? And designing stuff and graphics and stuff, and people find value, people's art, right? Prime example, people already were buying his art for a lot of money in the world anyway. And for him to just transfer into the NFTs just made natural sense for him, right? And all of a sudden now he's worth even more, right? Great on him. This guy's been for 5,000 days, he's been creating a piece of content every single day. That's a lot of bloody hard work. And for him, it's paid off, you know? So he's worked hard for it. So there is genuine use cases. It's just right now we're mixed in use cases and also bullshit, basically. That's where we are, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that when I saw that piece of land thingamajig, right? Yeah, I just thought we're in a big bubble here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because why on earth? And that's why I asked Kiki. I said, why on earth would you buy a digital piece of land? Why? You don't experience it.
What I don't understand,
you don't enjoy it.
What I don't understand is
avatar is going to go around going, hey, have a look at my and your mate's not going to be there because they can't afford to be there.
Yeah. What I don't understand is like just can't someone just press delete on that and then you're
yeah. And you know, one of the things that we talked about before, you know, solar storms have really picked up this year. Right? Solar flares and solar storms have really picked up this year. And you only need a really big solar flare to burst out and it will render a lot of electronic stuff dead.
Done.
Dead. So it's no longer, it may be in digital form, it's dead. It's gone. It's been singed. Right? So that's one of the other things, you know. But yeah, well, I mean, and that's why I reached out to Kiki, because he's obviously the younger and now the better looking and with all the money as well, you know, so I have to bow down to him now.
Hey, you're still the Godfather. I'm just the Al Pacino.
Oh yeah, actually you look like a bit like the Asian Al Pacino. You do.
Don't fuck with me. I might as well go my plan and all.
Yeah, man.
But no,
my
little friend. Yeah.
From Scarface.
I think you know that's really the message here is like, especially from me, is you know, stay tuned in, we're going to be talking about this a lot now, obviously.
I think that's what we need to do, talk about opportunities. And I think maybe, you know, there will be companies like this one, right? In fact, I think Nine Design should go into the metaverse and see if we can there is you can actually create an investable company that people go, actually, and sell shares in it, or
this is the thing. So like so the one use case that is definitely viable is people creating businesses in the metaverse, right? Which means there's metaverse branding is going to be a thing. So obviously our company does a lot of branding. I was talking to my friend about this. It doesn't change anything that we do. We brand things and we design as we do in the real world. We just chuck that into the metaverse after, right? That's all it is. But we just brand it as metaverse branding. Now, with websites, is a bit of a difference because obviously developing on the blockchain is a bit different. So I'm still looking into that. I'm not really clued in 100%, but that's a big thing, and I think there's a lot of sort of money and value in that. So that is definitely something. And obviously Web3 websites will sit on blockchain, will sit on will also go into the metaverse and whatnot, etc. So we'll see what happens. But I think the biggest message here is we're in excitement phases and new tech phases. So people are getting overhyped and overwhelmed. There are some smart people out there that are coming up with smart ideas. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk, if anyone watches, like, now is prime time to watch him. I mean, he had a bit of a period where I think he lost too much to talk about because he's just general business and stuff. But now he's really like, listen to him now, because the way he's talking about NFT, he's actually done an interview with Mark Zuckerberg on the Metaverse. I haven't actually watched it yet, and I've been meaning to. It's my YouTube saved playlist. So learn about what the actual smart guys, genuine guys, are talking about, what the use cases for these things are, right? And understand, you know, and you will be able to, just out of logic, filter out what is crap and what might work. And if you do want to work on something in it, there's nothing stopping you. You know, you could still, you're doing your, whether you guys are working in jobs or whatever, or you are in businesses, just research, learn, read. This is just a chance for you to keep that brain active and start to learn about new things. Doesn't mean you have to get involved in it. Just for you, you know, you guys, if you've, you know, made your money, you know, whatever, have some fun, just learn about it, whatever. Don't buy 2.4 million worth of digital real estate, that's for sure. And that's 100%. I can guarantee you that.
I'm thinking of putting my avatar out in the meta universe and you know, property mentor, first property mentor.
There you go.
In the meta universe. So if anyone's interested, come and see me. And if you're interested in real life, then you come see me.
And you can do viewings in the metaverse.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be so much easier. Buy it. It's a piece of land. It's fine.
Yeah,
forget the ROI. That doesn't make sense.
Nothing inside it. It's just the outside. God, man, what are we going into? But yeah,
I think it's a good place to stop. But yeah, I think, you know, I think we've covered a lot.
We have, yeah,
especially with the topic. So it'll be interesting to see what this week pans out like, and then maybe doing. Unfortunately, are we going to do a Christmas get together with this COVID thing?
Not yeah. So I don't think we wasn't planning to do Christmas anyway. I was saying in the new year. So what we'll do is obviously, I think at the moment,
how COVID pans out, right?
Yeah, we're going to need to wait for that, definitely. So we'll see what the situation is in January. January, hope maybe February might have to do it. But I think obviously once it's safe and everyone's, I think once people got boosters and stuff and all that's rolled out, etc., then if people feel comfortable, then we could potentially do something in a WeWork and just you know, meet up with the fellow followers and stuff and just chat as we do here with more members. Yeah. So,
all right, so cool. Remember, guys, please like the video, because the algorithms, they're all in the meta universe, and they need to know that we're providing good content for you guys. So we hope you've enjoyed it. Please like it, share it amongst your friends. We want to try and grow the channel as well.
Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification.
Notification videos. So Kiki's going to put all the icons down there.
And these videos, again, as I said, we're coming regularly, and we're just going to keep providing you with information and good conversation.
If investment ideas come up with the meta universe and stuff like that, we will or companies.
Definitely.
That we think, actually, you maybe jump onto this one. We will always let you know.
That's what. So just to give you on that, that's what I'm looking into as well. So if I find stuff,
find out if there's any small companies that are building it, because then it will start growing, ballooning. Have a look. Obviously, you bought Facebook anyway.
Well, no, I sold that ages ago. I sold that I bought it when it went down, and then when it had a little burst up, I sold it.
It had a huge burst and then came back down.
So sold at the right times. That's like you taught me.
Well, you know, it pays off. Stay with gold, stay with silver. It all depends on what happens today. Or what happens, at the end of the day, if they don't announce an interest rate, but in the back end of 2022, the dollar will drop and the gold will go up. But it's all manipulated. That's what I hate. You know. But if you go and try and buy real physical silver or real gold, there's a shortage of it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, exactly. They're selling all this, but
it's all the paper currency that's doing it.
Exactly. It's like, have you seen Money? Last thing, have you seen Money Heist?
Yeah, I did watch it. Hold on, that was ages ago, though.
No, but on
Netflix.
Have you watched so the last season is out now. The last.
Oh no! I thought there was a film called Money Heist.
Mate, watch it because it explains our economy. Okay, is it
on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Watch it. Watch last season. So make sure you watch. I think there's 5 seasons or 4 seasons. Make sure. Yeah. So make sure
watch the last season, but then the rest of them won't make sense.
No, so if you've Netflix will tell you what you've watched in it. So make sure you watch the whole show, like all the seasons.
Okay.
Well, first of all, it was really good. I loved it. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Of course, yeah.
I watch it. Yeah, when I'm bored.
Yeah, you watch it.
I watch it.
So you know how Game of Thrones like sort of fucked up their writing at the end because D&D wanted to do Star Wars and they got rejected from that anyway, right? Yeah. So obviously like that didn't feel satisfying, but this was the first show that I watched where the writing from the start to the end was phenomenal, honestly. Right, okay. So for a show perspective, it's entertaining, but it fucking explains the economy, man. Like it honestly, and what these big banks do. And how everything is just a fucking facade, honestly.
It is. Honestly, it's all a facade.
It's just madness. So
all a facade.
If you get a chance, watch it, honestly.
Right, yeah,
maybe we'll do an episode on that.
yeah. Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, listen, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed it.
I'm going to catch my flight now. My fuel is
that's it from my boy, Kiki, billionaire Kiki. Yeah. With his gold chain. Hey, you need some more gold chains, man.
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm great. That's why there's a gold shortage, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're wearing it all. Yeah,
this is all made out of gold. This is real gold t-shirt.
Hey, you can sell that image as an NFT.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell this as an NFT. It looks badass, man. Trust me. I think you. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. And once again, share, like.
Subscribe,
and subscribe and put the bell icon on. Yeah. Okay, we'll speak to you next week. Yeah,
catch you soon. All right,
you're going to render this today, yeah?
Yeah, and launch it. Yeah.
All right, take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.